Welcome to a brand new episode of the Car and Bike Show here on NDTV. My name is Shams, and as usual, lots lined up on the show for you this week as well. A new scooter, a new motorcycle, and a new car as well. We begin with the Hero Xoom. It is the latest scooter in the 110cc segment from the company. Packs in a lot, and I got a chance to ride it. Hero Corp has made yet another attempt at a market where it would clearly like to do better. World's largest two-wheeler maker is taking a fresh shot at the 110cc scooter segment with the Xoom, a new age offering that it says is big on design as well as features. We are quite used to seeing sporty looking scooters in the 125cc segment, but in the 110cc segment, this is a refreshing change. The Hero Xoom does look sporty from whichever angle you look at it, especially this front aerodynamic fascia really appeals to you with these H-shaped DRLs and projector headlamps. Add to that the 12-inch diamond cut alloys, and yes, you do get a sporty face on the scooter. The story is similar on the rear as well, with those H-shaped LED tail lamps and the integrated rear grip for the pillion on the scooter. But yes, the highlight of course are these, the corner bending lights on either side placed just next to the headlamps. This is a very practical and safe feature that Hero has added to the Xoom, and something not really seen in scooters in India till now. Connected to a sensor, when you turn the scooter while moving, these lights come on to give you additional lighting. Of course, the real test will lie when you're riding the scooter in the dark, and that's when we'll get to see the effect of these lights. This feature though is only available in the top ZX trim. In terms of practicality, the scooter gets a USB charger along with a glove box, while the boot is large enough to fit a full-size helmet and gets a light as well. The cluster is fully digital on top two variants, but this blue LCD is provided only in the ZX. Along with basic features, it also gets Bluetooth connectivity, which means you can check calls or messages on the go. There's also a real-time mileage indicator given here, along with a side stand cutoff feature. In all, the scooter gets 5 color options, with this sports red along with matte Abrax orange reserved only for this top ZX trim. Our first ride with the Hero Xoom 110 was a mix of traffic-laden and empty roads, enough to gauge the performance of the scooter. The Xoom 110, as the name suggests, runs on a 110.9cc air-cooled engine that makes a little over 8 bhp at 7,250 rpm, while making a peak torque figure of 8.7 Nm at 5,750 rpm. With the pillion sitting, the eagerness to go fast slows down. You get telescopic suspension on the front and hydraulic dampers on the rear, and the scooter is able to give you a comfortable ride in most situations. You do feel the suspension is ready to take on the challenges that are thrown at it. What also helps is a ground clearance of 155 mm, so on most speed breakers the scooter will be able to sail through without any difficulty. And then on these higher variants, including this top of the line ZX, you also get a wider rear tire, which gives you much more confidence, especially while cornering. Braking is decent too. The front wheel on this top ZX gets a 190mm disc, while the rear wheel comes with a 130mm drum brake. The fuel-saving i3S technology seen on many two-wheelers from the brand finds a place here too. And while Hero hasn't yet shared the fuel efficiency figures with us, a fuel tank with a capacity of 5.2 liters should ensure the scooter covers a good distance before heading to the fuel pump. But there's no external fuel filler here, and every visit to the pump would mean opening the seat to fill fuel. So how much will this new Hero cost you? The base LX or sheet drum version of the scooter is priced at 68,599 rupees, while at 71,799 rupees the VX cast drum sits just above it. This ZX or cast disc is priced at 76,699 rupees. All prices are introductory and ex-showroom. At these prices, with the way it looks, the features it offers, and of course the way it rides, the Hero Xoom really comes across as a value for money offering that will suit your everyday urban commutes. Of course, taking on the Honda Activa is never easy for any rival, but this time around, Hero Corp seems to be much better prepared. On to a new car now, and this is the 2023 facelift of Hyundai's most affordable car in India, the Grand i10 Nios. It gets a new look as well as many more features than earlier, especially when it comes to safety. Here's our review. First launched in 2019, the Hyundai Grand i10 Nios has always been a car that packs in a lot in a compact size. The premium hatch is known as much for its feature-loaded cabin as it is for giving a smooth ride. Now, the Korean carmaker has launched a facelift of its most affordable car in the market that gets a fresh look and many more features than before. Well, it clearly looks that Hyundai has worked a lot on the design of this new Nios, and to me, honestly, it looks like more than just a facelift. So the grille is new with a glossy black finish, looks quite nice, and yes, importantly, the DRLs have changed. The boomerang shaped ones have made their way to this newer design, integrated nicely into the bumper of the car. The headlamps though remain the same, the projector headlamps, but on the profile the big change are the new diamond cut alloy wheels. And on the rear as well, a big highlight are the new connecting LED tail lamps that really make the car look much more premium. The hatch also has a new color with the facelift, spark green, that along with polar white is also available in a dual tone option. Inside too, depending on the variants, there are 3 themes to choose from, something not really seen in a car of this segment. Feature list on the Grand i10 Nios largely remains the same. You get the 8-inch touchscreen which is compatible with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Instrument cluster is a combination of analog and digital, gives you a lot of information. You continue to get features like a wireless charger or climate control or a push button start. What's new is a Type-C charging point here on the first row, and you also get footwell lighting now on the car. On the second row, you get AC vents, adjustable headrests and ISOFIX mounts, though only on this top Asta trim. Back in 2019, the Nios was launched with both petrol and diesel engine options, and 1 year later, Hyundai also added the more powerful and fun to drive 1 litre turbo petrol to the lineup. This time around, it's just the 1.2 litre naturally aspirated petrol that is doing the duty on the hatch, both with a 5-speed manual and a 5-speed AMT option. CNG variant is available too, albeit with just the manual. This 1.2 litre petrol engine makes 82 bhp and 130 Newton meters, which is available from 4000 RPM. On the CNG version, it drops to 68 bhp and 95 Newton meters. So that's a significant difference between the two drivetrains. The good thing is that this car is E20 ready, which means it can run on a blend of ethanol and petrol. So 20% ethanol can be used. That's a good thing looking at the future and all the push that ethanol is getting from the government. The Grand i10 Nios continues to provide decent performance, more so for the city environment. The cabin is well insulated from the outside noise and the ride remains comfortable too. Gear shift is also smooth as ever, and the drivetrain doesn't feel lazy.
The new Nios is really big on safety. It becomes the first car in the segment to get as many as 6 airbags. That's really nice. And even better is the fact that 4 airbags are standard on the hatchback. Apart from that, you also get features like isofix mounts on the second row and a tire pressure monitoring system. So overall, a big thumbs up to Hyundai for giving so many safety features on this car.
And that's not all. Electronic stability control, vehicle stability management and hill assist control all make their debut on the hatch, so indeed the safety quotient has gone up on the car. Overall, the new Nios comes across as a comfortable city hatch, one that will take you from point A to point B in relative comfort without burning a big hole in your pocket. It is priced starting at ₹5,68,000 rupees for the base manual and goes up to ₹8,46,000 rupees for the top AMT. Two CNG trims are priced at ₹7,56,000 rupees and ₹8,11,000 rupees. All prices are ex-showroom and introductory. The Grand i10 Nios has always been a popular pick in its segment, and looking at this facelift, there's no reason why the success story will not continue.
Welcome back. Time now to tell you all about the F77, which is the first electric motorcycle from homegrown manufacturer Ultraviolette. Comes with a big battery pack that guarantees great power and yes, long range as well. Preetham got to ride the motorcycle.
Is the future of motorcycles electric? And can EVs actually replace the primal guttural feel of a combustion engine when it comes to motorcycles? The Ultraviolette F77's basic premise is just that. To replace the notion that electric bikes cannot be desirable, exciting and fun. And it has been designed with versatility in mind for everyday use, the occasional long ride as well as track outings.
We have with us the F77 Recon, the higher spec variant of the F77 series. This one of course gets slightly more power. In BHP terms, about 39 odd BHP and 95 Newton meters of torque. More importantly though, it's got a claimed range of 307 kilometers on a single charge. But being the higher spec variant, it's also priced at a premium, costs about 4,55,000 ex-showroom. But is it worth the money? Does it ride as good as it looks? That's what we intend to find out today in our first ride impressions and tell you all about the new Ultraviolette F77.
The F77 looks ready for the future with its razor-sharp design and ready-to-sprint stance. It is a sports bike alright and intends to offer similar levels of versatility, dynamics and performance of any other 300 to 400cc sports bike available on sale today. The steel trellis frame is complemented by 41mm upside-down fork and a monoshock, both with preload adjustability. The 17-inch wheels are shod with tires made in collaboration with MRF. They are W rated for high speeds and the wheels come with standard dual-channel ABS. The single biggest component concealed under the bodywork is the massive 10.3 kWh battery pack on the highest spec F77 Recon variant with a claimed range of over 300 kilometers. The battery management system has built-in safety systems at the cellular level as well as with thermal, electrical, electronic and software protection to ensure safety and durability under all kinds of riding conditions. The mid-mounted electric motor has been tuned for 29 kilowatt output and 95 Newton meters of peak torque with a claimed top speed of 147 kilometers per hour. The 5-inch TFT display provides access to the controls, which include 3 riding modes, ABS settings, navigation and more, including 3-level regeneration. In actual riding conditions, the F77 Recon is set to deliver range between 170 to over 260 kilometers depending on the selected mode.
So how do you charge the F77 and how much charging time is required? You get this 1.3 kilowatt charger with the bike. You don't have to pay anything extra for this. With a normal 15 amp power socket, you plug it in, it will take about 8.5 hours to fully charge the bike from 0 to 100%. At home, you can charge it overnight or when you park the bike. If you want quicker charger, you can opt for this boost charger. It's a 3.3 kilowatt charger, which will charge the bike fully in about 3.5 hours. But this one will cost you about 30,000 extra. If you don't want to buy it, Ultraviolette to also make charging infrastructure ready, so you can go and charge it at any of these charging points which will be made available to customers.
From the get-go, the Ultraviolette F77 feels different because it's electric and there's no gearbox. There's no combustion sound, but there is an interesting whine from the motor which becomes quite likable with more time spent with the bike. The throttle response is linear without being jerky or snatchy, and there's a strong rush of initial acceleration which is quite enjoyable. It reaches 100 to 110 km per hour effortlessly and quickly, but our test conditions didn't offer us the opportunity to explore top-end performance. But the mid-range is strong, and in ballistic mode you feel a rush of power and torque which is apparent and fun. On the track, the steel trellis frame and the suspension setup offers sharp dynamics, easy to tip the bike in and out of corners.
So the F77 comes with 3 riding modes: glide, combat and ballistic. Of course, all these riding modes have different power deliveries. In glide, of course, you get the full range, so 307 kilometers range, claim range that you get, but the top speed will be limited to about 80-85 kilometers per hour. And also the throttle response and the torque, you won't get that feel compared to combat or ballistic. Combat is good enough for your everyday riding. You can even do easy highway cruising at 90-95 kilometers per hour. If you want to do a quick overtake at those speeds, you just need to close the throttle, press the button, go into ballistic, and you get a surge of power and torque which will take care of all your performance requirements for quick overtakes. Overall, I think the F77 in terms of performance will not leave you wanting for more. It's got enough and more performance really. Earlier today we spent some time at a tight go-kart track to check out the bike's handling capabilities, and although it's got 207 kg curb weight on paper, the moment you start riding it, that weight seems to magically disappear. You don't feel that it's a heavy bike really. Unless you're doing very crawling speeds, you want to take a U-turn, that's when you feel a slight bit of weight, but nothing to complain about really. So overall, great handling, great balance, superb brakes and superb performance. So in terms of an electric motorcycle in India, the F77 has set a new benchmark, that's for sure.
The only challenge will be the price, with even the original variant looking seemingly expensive compared to a similar petrol-powered performance bike. But if you look at a slightly longer term ownership compared to fuel and maintenance cost, the F77 starts making sense, even with the initial premium acquisition price. And with its looks, performance and handling, it has oodles of presence and will make quite a statement out on the road. Being a performance electric bike, it also has that extra dose of futuristic aura that makes the F77 a convincing reason to go electric.
If you're a purist, the idea of a motorcycle perhaps is a petrol-powered combustion engine with one or maybe even more cylinders and a 6-speed gearbox with an intake and exhaust sound. The idea of an electric motorcycle which is soundless, noiseless, no gears perhaps may not be as appealing as you may think. But after spending a day with the Ultraviolette F77, all those notions will completely change for you. If this is the starting point of a made-in-India electric sports bike, then Ultraviolette Automotive has certainly hit the ball out of the park. It's that good. Believe me, you won't miss that internal combustion engine. It rides well, it handles well. It's a fun bike to ride with.
The F77 is now available on sale in Bengaluru, and by the end of the year, Ultraviolette intends to make it available across 10 more cities.
That's it then on this week's episode of the Car and Bike Show. Do let us know how did you find the show today. Our Twitter handle is Car and Bike. See you next week with many more new cars and bikes and all the latest news from the auto sector. Till then, drive safe. If you're in a car, please do wear your seatbelts. If you're on a two-wheeler, please do wear your helmets. Take care.